After my mother married a vampire, I was forced to live with people who craved my blood. The one I feared most was my stepbrother, because he always stared at me with hungry eyes. When I got home from school, I found that both my mother and stepfather were not at home. That left one person, Silas, my stepbrother, and hopefully, I wouldn't have to deal with him. I tiptoed up the stairs, trying to stay under his radar. Two bad vampires have freakishly good hearing. His door swung open just as I reached mine. There he stood, shirtless. "Hey, kiddo." Silas flashed a grin, perfect white teeth. He was tall, with tousled dark hair and those honey brown eyes that were stupidly hard to ignore. "Don't call me that," I muttered, fiddling with my door. "Someone's cranky. What happened? Pop quiz? Mean girl drama? Why can't you just leave me alone?" He smirked, attitude like that's not healthy. I ignored him, finally managing to unlock my door. After locking the door, I headed for a shower. Warm water melted away the day's misery. Tomorrow was Saturday. I could sleep in. Clean and towel-wrapped, I changed into comfy shorts and a big t-shirt. I flopped into bed, phone in hand, but my stomach had other plans. It growled. Grumbling, I shuffled into the kitchen. The fridge was a graveyard of takeout boxes and soda cans. One bottle in the back made my stomach churn. Definitely not wine. Looking for food, came a familiar voice. Silas was leaning in the doorway like some vampire calendar model. I nodded, too hungry to argue. "Come on, I'll take you out." He grabbed his keys, and I followed. At the door, he stopped and looked me up and down. "You can't go out like that." "What?" "It's just a t-shirt, a long one. It practically reached my knees." "It's not the length, it's the vibe. If I go back to change, I'm staying there. So if I starve to death, your fault." He sighed and led the way to his car. It smelled like him. We ended up at the usual place, Bill's favorite restaurant. He guided me to our usual booth. Most tables were filled with couples whispering sweet nothings. 2 booths down, I spotted a guy who was clearly a vampire, his human girlfriend looking at him like he hung the moon. "Think they're cute?" Silas asked, catching me staring. "They won't last," I said without thinking. The look in his eyes said he had thoughts, but he kept them to himself. I backpedaled a bit. "I mean, it's an odd match, but hey, love's weird. Maybe they'll make it." He nodded slowly. "Funny how you say that, like loving someone different is wrong." "You sound mad," I said, raising an eyebrow. "What, you got a crush on someone non-vampy?" "You could say that." "Okay, now I was interested. Someone from your college?" "Nope." "Your dad's company?" "Carrie. Come on, you can trust me." He waved down the waiter instead. Classic Silas move, evade and distract. That night, I helped Mom with dinner. Bill and Silas were already at the table. Bill sipped his glass of wine, and Silas stared at his phone until I sat down. Then he looked up, with that weird, unreadable expression he always wore when he thought I wasn't watching. "Carrie, slow down, honey," Mom said. "She probably had a long day," Bill added. I shot him a look. He always called me by my full name, and it bugged me. He knew it too. "We just ate, by the way," Silas said with a smug smile. "Tattletale. Do you guys mind? Can't I eat in peace?" "You're cute when you're mad," Silas teased. "Don't call me that either." I focused on my plate, but of course, the peace didn't last. "By the way," Bill began, "your mom and I wanted to talk about college." "Oh no. You've got 1 year left of high school," Mom added. "Have you thought about where you want to go?" "I'm moving to Hawaii." They blinked at me like I'd said I was joining a space cult. "Hawaii? Still with that?" Mom frowned. "Why?" "Because it's warm, it's pretty, the schools are decent, and there aren't any creatures of the night." "Carrie," Bill said gently, "we just want what's best for you, the college Silas goes to." "I don't want to go to Silas's college. I want to live my own life, without shadows following me around." "Carrie," Mom tried again, "Bill just wants to help. You don't have to be scared." "Well, I am. I live in a house full of people who could lose control any second." "That's not comforting, Mom. That's terrifying." The words came out fast, too fast. "I'm grateful, okay? I am, but I don't want to owe Bill more than I already do. I eat his food, live under his roof, depend on his money, and I can't even relax. How can you be okay with this?" I pushed back my chair and ran to my room. "Carrie." I locked the door and collapsed onto my bed, face buried in my pillow. The tears came quick. I hated myself for saying all that. Bill didn't deserve it, neither did Silas, but it was like something in me snapped. Why couldn't I be more like Mom? Why couldn't I just accept this weird life we had? I don't know how long I cried. Eventually, I drifted off to sleep, completely unaware of the quiet footsteps that crept into my room later that night.